if you're having a bad hair day and you need to use your hair dryer, we'll just do this right here. We'll just plug our hair dryer in right there, and I'm checking the wattage, and the wattage is with the heat turned off. It's a thing where I'm either going to call off the whole project or do what I'm going to do today, and I got to do what I do today to make this work. I also challenged myself to see how slow I could make the train go last night, upgrading my speed controller to ultra slow mode. And what I came up with is I got these lights as a load, and this blinker flasher here that, you know, goes on any old truck. And I put the speaker in there to show the activity of the blinker when it's working. And it also is a 4 ohm load as well. So it actually plays a part of the charge in the capacitor. I got the capacitor covered up here so it doesn't short out on anything. So that's how I'm pulling this off. I'm pulsing the capacitor, and that's how I'm getting the train to move that slow. So that's slower than even the one that it came with. The train would not move that slow with the speed controller from the factory. All right, so I'm going to see how many amps it takes to do creep mode. So right now I got the train in creep mode with my homemade speed controller. And we're going to see how many amps it's taken to keep the batteries in charge state. So it's about 1.3 amps to do creep mode. So let's see what it takes to do faster mode. All right, so that's about the normal speed I would run the train. So let's see how many amps that's taken to keep that sustained at 14.1 volts. 1.4 amps, not much more. Decided to put the bigger inverter in there to start with. This one won't make any noise. It does have a fan, but it won't be very loud. It's going all the way down and the threads are running out. So I need to make a spacer to go in there to take up space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this copper wire here and I'm going to flatten it out. And I might fold it over and flatten it, but we're going to see how this works, and we'll see what I come up with. So this is what I ended up with. I doubled it back, I flattened it out, and then it's going to fit in there, and it's going to go on the screw side of it. I ended up making 2 of these to get the spacing I need, so that's going to be perfect. So I had to use 2. All right, so that worked out perfect having 2. And you can see how it spaces the little nut in there, and it doesn't go all the way down and bottom out. So that's how you can make a spacer for your distribution block. This thing had the spacers, I just can't find them. So I had to make my own. It came with spacers, but I had to make my own. A little delay, but not a big deal. Had fun doing it. All right, that's our new distribution block. No more homemade block. And we're gonna wrap it so it's insulated and we're done. All right, it's wrapped. So now if a screwdriver or something drops back there or a bolt and tries to stick inside the distribution block, it can't short out on the ground right there. So now let's get to the ground on the other side, because this is the ground for the amp. And I'm going to put the ground for the inverter on the other side. So that side's almost cleaned up on the ground side. And here's a little trick. If you want to clean up you also want to clean up the back side of the bolt. So you put your bolt in your socket and it gives you something to press against. And you take one of these hot rods and then you spin it around in there and it cleans up the back side of that bolt. And you clean the threads off really good because you want it to make good contact. And then give her a little oil before you put it in there, and then you're good. Now that's a good ground. So it's oiled, brushed, ready to go. So now let's charge up the capacitors. Let me show you how to do that. All right, because we unhooked an amplifier and an inverter and all that stuff, it's going to be hungry for electrons. So you can't do this with an LED bulb. You have to use incandescent. And what this does is this only allows the capacitors to eat so much at a time, so they can't just bite, you know, put everything in their mouth at once, basically. So we want to slowly charge up our capacitors, and that way we don't create a spark on the end of our connection. So that right there is connected to what goes to the amplifier and the inverter that I just installed, and they're all going to be hungry for power. And to prove that, this light's going to light up, and it's going to be drawing current through this light until the caps get equalized to the voltage, and then the light will go out. So when we touch this to the positive, it should light up. There we go, it lit up. Now the capacitors are charged. We'll give them a little bit of time there. Oh, look, it lit up again. So that means the inverter is trying to kick on bypass state, or the amplifier. So what we're going to do is, this is the way I do it, so we don't have any sparks. I put it over here, and then I just touch this to here, and when that's touched to there, then it gets all the current it needs, and boom, no sparky. And just make sure you put it down on there like that, and you're done. So that's how I charge caps that are hungry, and they're going to be hungry when you disconnect them like that. So just feed them a little bit at a time, and that's doing the right thing. What I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the gas cap on the truck, and I'm going to put a female receptacle here, 110, and that way when I take the gas cap off, I have power. So we're going to have power coming out where we used to put power in. So let me look for in my inventory here and see what I can find that will fit in here. All right, we're going to need this for our project. So sorry, black light, but this is more important. So I think this is going to come in handy with what I'm doing here with the extension cord coming out of the fuel tank. So I think this is going to do it. So I'm going to redo the way this was put in there, because I want it to fit tighter and more flush. So I'm going to put it in there like that first. So then when I put it in here, it's going to compress it even more. And we'll get that in there, and we'll spin that around to where it's like that. It's going to take a while to work it in there. And we can't put it in too far because we need to make sure the cap doesn't hit. So far the cap's not hitting. Right, so that's what it looks like now. It's nice and tight in there, and the blue is flush with the white. And the cap is not hitting the receptacle there. So now let's put it in there. We got hose clamp on one side. And we're going to run that in here like this. And I want the outlet to be straight up and down like this. When I put it in there, like that. All right, that's a little bit too far. So now we got to make sure we have enough room for our cap. We're going to do just enough right there to where that doesn't stick out too much. That's about perfect. We're going to crank her down, and then we'll put the hose clamp on the back side. All right, so let's see. We got this over here, so that one has power. We're going to test this little extension cord and see, make sure everything's right. Yep, that tests good. I put the end on the other cord, and now let's come over here and see what we got. We got danger, hot, electricity right there. So we should have fire right there. Yep, now let's check our polarity here and see if we're good. Yep, we're good. See that? No open hot neutrals or anything weird like that. So just for fun, let's take out our, yeah, I used to be an electrician. So let's just put our little meter on there. We're getting 110, and it vibrates in your hand. Look at that, 110, 120. We're getting 120. Isn't that cool? So let's plug in a jigsaw in our official outlet now, where we used to put power in, which would be gasoline. Now we're getting power out, where we used to put power in. So we'll just plug that in right there, and there we go. So now we got power out where we used to put power in. That's a definite upgrade, and we also have a little danger. There's power in there, so don't put gas in there anymore. you're having a bad hair day and you need to use your hair dryer, we'll just do this right here. We'll just plug our hair dryer in right there, and I'm checking the wattage, and the wattage is, with the heat turned off, 182 watts. So it's 182 watts, 1.5 amps, 1.5 amps. And our voltage is 121. And our sine wave, these buttons are old, 59.9. So that's almost 60 hertz perfectly. So there we go. We're running a hair dryer out of the truck here, where we used to put gas in. Now we're getting power back out. So I think that's an upgrade, and we have the watch for wires danger right here, so people don't put gas in there. All right, let's see what the box fan runs as far as watts. So we're going to open our gas cap here and get some electricity out of our gas cap. I'm going to hook a kilowatt up here, and we're going to see how much power. So we got 122 volts. We're going to flip it on watts. We're going to put it on high and see how many watts it pulls. So we're pulling about 100 watts, 99 watts. This would be good to keep the mosquitoes off my legs. We're pulling 0.8 amps, 121.5 volts, and almost exactly 60 hertz, 59.9. So there we go, 99 watts on high. Let's do medium. Medium is 85 watts. Let it settle a little bit. And low on this box fan is 68 watts, 69, which comes out to be a little over half an amp, 0.57 amps. And we're still at 121. And our voltage is on our battery in the truck is at 12.5 because there's no sun. So right now I'm pulling on the battery for this power, but if the sun was out, there would be that voltage would be back up to 13 or 14. So there we go. We're getting power where we used to put gas in. So just whatever you do, don't put gas back in here. Please pay attention. All right, while we got the train in creep mode, so it's pulling power there. That's about 1.5 amps. Let's test out my favorite drill. So let's see what we got here. I haven't run this thing in a long time. Listen to the precision of this drill. We're going to use this antique drill on this antique truck. It's got metal on the outside. It is a Powercraft. I can't see the serial number. Forward and reverse. 2.5 amps is what it says. 1,000 RPMs. Listen to the precision. I think this sounds better than my Bosch drill. I love this drill. So yeah, we're going to use this drill for the project. Let's run the train around. Let's take it out of creep mode here and put it into cruise mode. Run it around once and call it a day. And I'm going to go in there and read the comments later tonight, something. So let's make a round in the train. Come on around. We need to put our cap back on so we don't get any rain in there. All right, so I think that's it for today. That's pretty good upgrades. So what we did today was that 600 watt Samlex inverter is we got power in the cab, we got power coming out of the gas cap, and then next I'll have power back here inside here, so I don't have to use the gas cap power if I want. So I'll have like an outlet in here somewhere in the layout. Like, share, subscribe. Please share this on your social media. And I hope this is compelling content for you. To rip and read and dyslexia some comments. So I'm a little distracted right now watching Tommy Temper. He's at a car show. So let's see, Jared Allen. So awesome, finally seeing the train working in the bed. Yep, and give Bree a big hug for me. All right, Sun Honey. Maybe I was a conductor in a past life. Yeah, I like trains. KCATV. Let's see. This is how you use a flux capacitor for maximum attention. I guess that's what that says. Yeah. So that's Back to the Future. Let's see. Big Dice. Thumbs up. And Partidoza. You know I always butcher your name. Sorry I missed the premiere. Watching now. Cool. So yeah, as you can see today, I had fun putting power in the 65, and I thought it would be fun to put the receptacle where the gas cap, so where you used to put the gas, instead of putting gas in, you're getting power out. So where power used to go in the truck, I'm now getting power back out from the sun, which is cool. And tomorrow's video, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I got tons of stuff I'm going to do to the truck, but I don't know which direction I'm going with it right now. I'm still going to be working on the layout, and oh, that was a bad shot. Can't believe I left that in the video. Sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, I had fun with the power stuff today, and like I said, I'm distracted watching Tommy Temper live. He's at a car show. Love you all. Please like, share, subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I hope to be done by the time the car show's, because I'm kind of getting I'm about less than a week and a half out from the car show, so I got to step it up a notch.